carving. Oh, what's inside? There is no design.
I'm not going to let you go first because we have our rateds and everything like that, but you have a load of different information based on it.
I wrote a lot down about this album.
I
Okay.
have mine here.
First of all, okay. Do you want to give
Summarise
like
that, you bastard.
Do you want to give like? Oh yeah, I won't read that out. Like I literally have like
3 pages. The fuck.
like this is what I've written down, like the gospel.
You look like you're after writing down notes for a map.
Yeah, literally, right. So, look, overall,
Yes.
do you want to give like a quick breakdown of what you thought about the album overall?
I'll let you go first because my
You
opinion
want me to?
is very like right. I don't want to give away any secrets because I know it's going to interest you more.
I spoke to Dary after listening to this album. I listened to the album 5 times, by the way.
Yeah, crazy
How many
bastard.
times did you listen to it?
1.5.
1.5. Okay, cool. So yeah,
But that's just me.
yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I listened to it 5 times, but after the first time listening to it, I actually met Dary the next day in the office before he'd listened to the album, and I said to him, "Have you listened to it yet?" And he said, "No, I haven't got around to it just yet." And I was like, And he was like, "What?" And I was like, "Well, I don't think this album's going to be your cup of tea." And he was like, "Oh, well, you know, see how it is." So I have a feeling you weren't in love with this album, but I'll just quickly talk about what I thought. So overall,
In a summary,
this is not
I
the
know,
long
no, I'm
ones.
taking
This
the
is
piss
just
with
the small bit. So I really enjoyed the creativity on this album,
Mhm.
and I really liked the risks that they took throughout. Okay, the production on the album is definitely a style I enjoy. The DIY aesthetic feels very intimate. So there was times where like you could hear Sims kind of like popping in and out, and like it sounded like it was unfinished. You could hear Gain kind of like creeping up in the
Yeah.
background. I really like
I knew
that.
you'd like it.
Yeah. Feels like at times I'm in the studio with him, listening to him experiment with new techniques and new ideas. So I really like that kind of like being a fly on the wall, kind of like studio feel. Kind of reminded me a lot of like people like Cosy Headrest, who's like one of my favorite artists.
Yeah,
I
you were
absolutely
saying.
love him, and he's very DIY, and you can hear him like doing stuff in the background and whatnot. However, I did find the vocals at times a little jarring.
See, this is where we're very different people.
Okay, right, yeah.
This is where we differ.
Sometimes it felt like listening to Post Malone sing over an experimental album.
I think that's bukkake.
Okay,
I
right,
think I agree with the experimental side of things, DIY fixation on the kind of creeping in behind and the kind of ego.
It wasn't always for this album, but there was times where there were certain vocal melodies and certain riffs, and I just felt like this riff and this melody feels very generic, but the background instrumentals don't.
See, this is right. Mine's like my opinion is so different to yours.
Right, okay, you give me your overall feelings.
My opinion on it was that I've just realised how much backing track music means to an album.
All right, okay.
Because parts of it were amazing, and parts of it I was like, I just didn't enjoy it.
Right.
So like
you always enjoyed the vocals. Or?
Yeah, the vocals was like I envy his vocals. I envy who he is as a vocalist because you can tell by the way he sings and how he expresses himself in vocals that he's amazing. And the vocal side of things was my favorite part of it, whereas the backing track wasn't at all. I hated it. I like the first 5 songs, I just wanted to turn it off.
Right.
But I was like
enjoy.
But I enjoyed the vocals, and then like they're quite short songs as well. Some of them.
Yeah.
So the only part I really enjoyed of the full album was the last 3 songs, or coming up to the last 3 songs.
Okay.
So I wasn't sure. Like it's just not. It's too experimental for me.
Yeah, it was. It's definitely there was areas that were a bit weird. Okay, now that you've said that you only enjoyed the last 3 songs, I think I might have gotten your favourite song wrong. Okay.
Oh yes.
Okay, so but hey, look, that's fine. We'll get to that. Like we did last week, we do have in our pockets right now.
Yeah, I have mine here.
Our guesses. We're not going to get them out just yet. Have I got it in my pocket?
But no, like I was saying,
I did.
I was saying there in regards to that, like what I was saying to you, we didn't want to say anything to each other, and I was like, the best thing for me to try and explain is like I didn't want to listen to the album again, and that's just me being honest. Like I didn't want to listen to it again because I wanted it to be raw in my head when I tell you, because if I listen to it again, I'm going to start making up stuff that maybe I do like this part, maybe I do like this part. The first thing I thought was, no, it's not for me. Yeah. But then when it got to the last half of the album, where it was really slow for me to start off with the first couple of songs, and then once it got there, I was like, Jesus Christ, his voice is it is amazing. Very envious of his voice.
I never said his voice was bad.
No, I know.
Okay, I just want to reiterate that. I don't think his voice is bad by any means.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
that would be very, very critical, especially coming from me.
Yeah.
So, look, I don't think his voice is bad. It's just at times I felt like the melodies that he was using just felt very like almost like mainstream poppy.
See, this is where I disagree as well.
I can hear cry. I can hear crying. I can hear cry.
I don't think so. I think
it sounds like it's about to like bring in a rapper.
I don't know. I think I feel like the vocals or the backing track makes it the most irrelevant music I've ever heard.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like it just seems like he's tried to work on kind of making a certain amount of like sounds work together, and there was too many sounds happening for me, and I started getting like, because I have ADHD, like I'm like, that's too much going on. I feel like they're just trying to build a house in the background. You know what I mean? Like, so it just got too much for me.
Right, I'm going to do a quick breakdown of each of the songs very quickly. Okay, I'm not going to read every single word that I've got here because I will be here all evening.
I'll actually tell him to shut up.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So first thing I just want to say is the intro track. It felt a bit of a palate cleanser. It didn't really feel like an actual song.
Yeah, that's what
it was like a.
Yeah, it put me off straight away.
Did it? Yeah, I thought it would. And it did. It blended into the second track though, so it kind of fit, but like. It did feel very much like it was just kind of like almost like a warning to people like Dary to say, maybe this album isn't for you. It does
seem like a very experimental album though. Like it's not something his normal music. Like I guarantee if I listen to another album, I'd probably like it. But maybe. It's just that album.
It's definitely it's piqued my interest in listening to more Bon Iver stuff because I did like this album.
Yeah.
I didn't call it a 10 out of 10 by the way. Just so we're.
I think I've got your rating right.
Do you reckon? Yeah?
I feel like I do.
Okay, well that's good. Maybe I got your rating right as well. We'll see at the end. But yeah, so I like that. I liked the way it introduced the album, but it wasn't like great. Like it was just like a small little snippet. So I
just felt like it was very you. Like the start, like certain aspects of it was very you.
Yeah, there was definitely moments that were very me. I Am I, the second track, it was a really interesting song. There's a lot of fluctuations. It took a couple of listens to before I actually liked this track. Which is, I listened to it a couple of times, the album, but I did eventually start to like it, and especially there's a part right at the end of the song where trumpets come in, and they start getting a little bit distant. It's like, and I really liked that part, and I was like,
"You're crazy!" Like, honest to God, it's just and I don't disrespect anyone that likes it, but.
I did actually review every single song with like a little number, but I'm not going to do that because it will give away what's my favourite song. So I'm not going to do that. But if anyone wants to see this, you can do and try and read my handwriting. So good luck with that.
Hell, you'd be as well being blind.
Talking about Hoosier, I do want to talk about the third track. So really rate this. It's a more sinister. It's called We. It's a more sinister, groovy vibe in this track. Some of the vocal lines remind me a lot of Hoosier.
Turn around and face it, you're adjacent to the scars. I won't mind you though.
Extra points for the brass section.
So you're going into a lot of detail in terms of like what it reminds you of in pop world. Whereas I didn't think that was poppy at all.
The third track, there were certain vocal lines. I don't remember what it was, but it's like
Muppet.
It's like it does something like that, and it sounded very like Hozier-esque. Okay. And I felt like, oh, this sounds quite Hoosier. And I really like the riff at the start, the do-do-do-do-do. Like it's like a groovy, like kind of like, almost feels like you're stepping into something quite dangerous. Like you're stepping into like a dangerous lair and looking around, like watching behind your back and stuff.
That's probably what put me off it.
But that's a good track. I really rated that track quite a lot. Holyfields.
Bonded wings don't favor them.
Love the instrumental in the song. The pulsing synth sounds like it's running out of battery. It's really cool. So there's like a whoop, 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 whoop in the background. You're like nodding, shaking your head like, why the fuck did you like that,
No, but I think you find that experimental type things amazing. Like
I loved the way it sounded. Like it just sounded really interesting, and I like the gain kind of spiking up in the background. Okay, but in particular on this song in Holyfields, there's a string section at the end. And man, it just pulls the song together really well. Like it really pulls the song in. And I wrote down that it made me feel like watching like an animated show of like a tree spirit.
Yeah.
In like the dark woods, finding like a seed or like an ancient like artifact or something.
Yeah.
That's what the image kept on coming into my head.
It's funny too, like, because like I suppose if it was an album I would have liked, it probably would have done the same concept.
Mm.
But hey, concept,
hey, shots. But yeah, so I rated that song quite a lot actually. Hey Man, didn't love this track. A little boring.
Okay.
And the vocals felt very generic. Kept thinking that he sounded like Post Malone. That's where kind of like the Post Malone vibe comes in. It's very similar to You Man Like You, obviously. Didn't rate this either for similar reasons to Hey Man. Also, the piano feels quite tacky. So there's like a piano going all the way through.
So I think you might have just completely done the opposite to me then. Mm-hmm. You found the start of the album probably better towards the start than the end.
Not necessarily.
Oh, fuck.
Not necessarily. It was just those two tracks, really, that were in the middle that was a bit like, it kind of dipped a bit in the middle.
Yeah.
Naeem found the chorus pretty annoying.
Hey. I can hear crying. I can hear crying. I can hear crying.
Repetition on the I can hear crying part.
Yeah.
It got on my nerves that I can hear crying. Crying.
Yeah.
It kind of annoyed me. But I did, and also I felt like the build was a bit underwhelming as well. Just a couple more now, just speeding through them.
Yeah. I'm starting to get pulsated here now.
Okay, Gelmore, very divided on that song. You probably noticed this track. So that's the one with this like really weird synth in the background. I'll actually bring it up for you, and you'll know what I mean.
Is that it? Yeah.
Hear that synth?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I felt very divided on that song because I really liked the synth, didn't really like the vocals.
Yeah, see.
Felt like it was trying too hard to be, something cool, but I didn't really feel like that was great. Faith track had a similar attitude to Hey Ma, didn't really love it. Okay. It was all right. Okay. Arian, pretty track. I like the country feel. Also rated the vocals on that song. It's a nice track.
Yeah.
I'm moving through him now a bit quicker.
Yeah, thank God. Hurry the fuck up.
No, I think it's quite good to talk about the album.
No, of course. I'm only joking.
Salem, great
Too hard to see what I thought it'd be. Asking constantly, how's it gonna be?
Salem, great build. Love the chiming bells in this track. Best vocal melody on the album so far. I think this song definitely suits Bon's vocals.
Yeah, definitely.
Better than any other song on the track. Strings are really nice too, and I rate the rise and fall of this song. Okay, it had a really nice like gradual rise, and then a bring down, and then a rise again, and it brought it back down.
I enjoyed that song as well. That's as I said, one of the last 3 songs in the album.
Shadaya, very ambient and meditative and relaxing song. Could imagine this would be very easy to sleep to. That's the second to last album.
Yeah.
And then the last song, Rabbi. Not crazy about this track.
No, I wasn't fond of it either.
Yeah.
So it was the last 2 I think I wasn't too fond of, and then kind of up towards some of the rest of them were really good, but I'm not going to give that away because...
Yeah. Shadaya felt a bit... Rabbi, sorry. It felt a bit underwhelming as a closer. I wrote down that I kind of wish that Shadaya, the 12th track and the 13th track were switched around.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like that would have been a better closer because it was very meditative and relaxing, and they were like, oh, yeah, no, kind of zoned out,
Yeah.
But yeah, good album.
I didn't particularly... Right, no, let's do this now first. We'll go through this here.
Yeah, the favourite.
Because we have the details on it.
Yeah, okay. So, do you want to go through guesses first before we do...
Yeah, what 3 songs? No, so that kind of gives it away as well. So I just want to kick into it. You do me first, because I do feel like you've got me wrong. I feel like I've got you right. Well, maybe not.
You feel like what was that song?
I think I might be close to your favourite song. Or I'd say you'd probably be like, oh, it was close.
Okay. So you want me to guess you?
Yeah, you go first.
I think your favourite song is Hey Ma.
Wrong.
I did write in brackets, maybe Faith.
Correct. So it was Faith. My favourite song on the album was Faith.
Right, okay. It was a close one between those 2 tracks, Hey Ma and Faith.
Faith was a great song. I felt like it put a pep in my step when I was walking. I'd definitely listen to that song again, 100%.
Yeah, I wasn't mad. It was alright, but I wasn't mad into it. I gave your rating of the album 5.5 out of 10.
Oh, so close.
Right.
I give it 5.7 because I really love Fate.
Okay.
But
It's
that's
so close.
it's still very close. You were so close.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what you thought my favourite song was.
Right. So I just say my 3 favourite songs in the album were Fate, Salem, and Marion.
Mm-hmm.
So they were the 4 for my 3 favourite.
Marion, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Marion, yeah.
Right.
And then my rating was 5.7.
Yeah.
And I just said then gets better at the end. Because I did, like, them 3 songs in particular, I really did enjoy them.
Okay.
But that's why I couldn't give it any less than 5.5.
I didn't do 3 songs for my favourite. I just did the 1, but we'll do that next week. I'll do 3 as well then for you.
Just kind of literally give that kind of, they hit me the most.
I know what my top 2 would be, so I'll give you what my top 2 is.
No, because I want to guess.
Yeah, and I'm not going to give it you right now, but I'll tell you.
No, because then if I've guessed it and it's that one of them.
Yeah,
songs.
no, I'm saying you guess first, and I'll tell you what my.
Sorry.
Right, okay. What did you guess?
So I thought your favourite song on track was Hollyfields.
Okay.
And I guess your rating is 7.8.
You're close. So Hollyfields would have been my second.
Oh, bollocks!
I was actually just about to say my top 2
Yeah.
will be Hollyfields, and my number 1 will be Salem.
Salem. Both of us like Salem at least.
Salem's great, yeah. I wrote down
song.
Salem there for you. And you said 7.8 out of 10.
7.8.
I go a little bit lower than that. I put it 7.1.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's just over a 7.
I didn't think you'd put it that low because how experimental the album was.
I was thinking in relation to how we've done our ratings so far, I gave the band 7 point. Yeah.
This is my favourite song's Fate. Really enjoyed, to be fair.
Yeah. I knew it was either Haymar or Faith, and
yeah.
I got Haymar wrong. To be fair, that wasn't in your top 3. So
no, it wasn't. Yeah, but then again, Hollyfield was your second.
Hollyfields was my second. Yeah, I really liked that track a lot.
I knew you would have, and I knew when you were explaining there it wasn't your favourite, and I was like, fuck. But then you said your least favourite was Fate, and thinking I went.
I don't think that was my least favourite. Maybe it was.
One of the least favourites.
It was one of them, yeah.
But I think it was very his vocal range and his vocals on it were fucking spot on. Like,
on Faith, yeah.
Yeah, because I remember I was listening to the album on the bus again as per usual, or on the train this time actually.
That one would have been all right though in the morning because it probably was like quite chill, you know.
Yeah, well, fucking chill. The start of it there, nearly conked you into fucking next week, like you get your brain ticking really.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, no, I was like sitting there and I was like. For whatever reason, I heard that song and it just started, and I was like, "Whoa, fuck, that's actually class." But I couldn't give it any less than 5 because of that song.
Yeah, fair enough. That's good then. Well, that was fun. Next week we're going to be doing Flamingo by James Tomlinson, so obviously look out for that.
Congrats, James.
Yeah, congratulations, James. Now, before we move into the news,